Hello, gentlemen. Strange place for us to meet, but not really. We're all into detailing cars. And what better way to make an introduction of myself, but by killing two birds with one stone, getting some things done on my car and saying hello to you boys out there in the UK and specifically Scotland. Let me put a fast fact to you really quickly. My favorite band of all time, Big Country. And I'm not talking about in a big country. I'm talking about Steeltown live at the Barrowlands. Oh, what a CD. That rocked my world. Restless Natives. That's another good one. When Stu Adamson passed in Hawaii, I really felt it. It's a hot day in Southern California. It's going to be about 35 degrees Celsius, which is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And so you got to get things done in the morning. And you wouldn't believe it, but right now it is probably about 85 already. That's hot. Now I know my rims are shite, as you would say. Not much I can do about it. I got a great deal on the car. One of the bad things was accepting these rims with it. But that's okay because there's a plan. Gonna get them powder coated. Probably a little darker shade of gray to match the paint. In any case, today's gonna be my first day of using Mitchell & King product. And I'm excited about it. You might be asking yourself, well, why is this guy talking about, using Mitchell & King product, and yet he's using something domestic? Well, this is McKee's 37, and it is my most favorite tire shine. It's a graphene tire shine, and it lasts for weeks, probably 6 weeks, looking great. So when I got my most recent order of Mitchell & King in, I didn't order any of their tire shine because I feel like I found the tire shine that I'm going to be using for quite some time. I mean, this stuff will hold up to whatever you throw at it. Okay, so we're about to begin detailing here. Let as much light in as possible. Get some airflow going. Don't you just love it when your girlfriend or your wife leaves things in the cup holder? Said no man ever. Anyway, so Surface. This is the first Mitchell & King product I'm showing. And I arrived at Mitchell & King in a roundabout way. I use spray-on sealants and ceramic sprays. And really here in the States, waxing, nobody does it. Hardly ever. I mean, I would say waxing here in the States, just people don't do it anymore. And I remember growing up and fondly spending time waxing my cars. Now, we didn't have access to these great waxes that are being blended by John. It just doesn't exist. So I never knew there was such a thing. But as I was looking up facts and for product on Instagram, I was coming across these great looking vehicles that had been done. And the cars done in Mitchell & King waxes looked amazing. It was almost as if they were ceramic coated, which was impressive because ceramic coating gives quite the glow. And I wanted some of that. Plus, I liked the idea of being able to change up the look of the car. That was real appealing to me. So I started focusing in on their videos and what John had to say, and I really liked him as a person. And getting to see him pack orders and people answering their question, getting their questions answered live, that meant something to me. I said, you know, if a guy's passion is so strong that he puts himself out there, because let's be honest, anonymity on the internet has led to some people that are less than kind. And I wonder if they would actually act that way in public. So I kind of had some ideas about the Mitchell & King system and the different products that you needed. Pure to clean up the paint, is AOI, all in one, and then going with a sealant. All right, great. You know, that's not too hard. Picking the waxes was difficult, so I actually left it up to chance. I told myself, tell you what, let's just order the mystery box, and I got 2 mystery box number 4s. And within the mystery boxes, the key waxes were octane and lavender. Come to find, that's exactly what I was looking for, something high gloss. Now, we don't even get Octane magazine here in the States, and I'd venture to guess nobody's ever heard of it. But reading it online, a few of the articles, I was like, yeah, these are the guys, these are my kind of people. These are definitely my kind of people, I thought. So the 2 secondary 50 mil wax, I got Regal. There's one more, and I think I got upgraded to a 200, but it was Crema. So I thought, okay, that's all right, you know, got a good selection here. But then in knowing the system, I knew I needed to get other things as well. So I'm going to fold this towel over, get rid of the dirty side. I just had a foot part where you would put your shoe to. So I'll fold that out for the other side of the car, the lower surfaces, and I'll get a new towel. Now, these are my scents I use. This is a Stinky Be Gone JDM Squash from Griot's. And here's one that's unusual. It's Vintage Waxman's Cockpit Cologne, and it smells like a guy. I'm not one for these silly scents. You know, oh, it smells like mango, or it smells like bubble gum, smells like saltwater taffy, licorice. I'm not one for that type of stuff. See, hair pretties. Ugh. Get that out of here. This makes my job more difficult. Anyway, so that Vintage Waxman is a great scent because it smells like cologne, which is, you know, kind of an aphrodisiac. Although I will admit, I once met an incredibly smart man. And let me say this, he used to wear a dab of women's perfume. So one day, finally, I asked him, why do you do that? You know, you smell like a girl. And I was young and, you know, doing the pub life, the bar scene, going out to clubs. And he said, well, ask yourself, do you want to smell like a guy? Right? Yeah, okay, yeah, I do. Or do you want to smell like you've just been talking to some really hot girls? In which case, there's a reverse attraction and a psychology to it. And I was like, this guy is brilliant beyond his years. And sure enough, he pulled down. Let me tell you, his close rate was excellent. Excellente. Okay, so I'm seeing streaking with this, and I might not have the secret of success, but I am getting streaking on this. So I might have to go to a detailer, interior detailer that I'm comfortable with. Or it might just simply be buffing it off. Let's get a clean cloth. Oh, it's just buffing it off. Okay. Learning curve with everything. So I'm not into permanent ceramic coatings where they last a year or 2 years, you know, and they advertise, oh, it lasts this long, you know, 5 years, 8 years. I'm touching my paint too much. I'm changing things. I want to change the look of my car. So I'm not big on that. And therefore, I love the idea of the waxes being able to give me an opportunity to change things. To me, nothing's more relaxing than cleaning my car. I love it. Now, about me is that I am a pre-law student. You might say, this guy's a bit old to be a pre-law student. Yeah, I've already, been in corporate America. I've made my money. Uh, I'm a Marine. I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years, and I'm done with that part. And I didn't want to get older and have this idea in my head like, oh, I could have been a lawyer. I could have done this. I could have done that. I wanted to prove it. So the goal is to get into law school, pass the bar, and I'm looking at an emphasis on environmental law, which brings me to rinseless washes and how much I love them. It's so fast. I mean, you can just quickly get a car done, and I like that. Plus, those rinseless washes is good for the environment. Gotta remember, I gotta buff this off. The cleaner I use, I don't have to buff. You just use it. It comes off nice and clean. So, not wanting to do a ceramic on this BMW X4, I love the idea of having a glow wax or a wax that is reflective, a wax with high carnauba content, that kind of thing. So there we go. I placed an order, and like I said, the waxes I got were octane and lavender and crema, and then 2 small sample ones, which I'm kind of having a hard time believing. I got the Euro Cup 2 waxes for free. You know his deal. You spend so much money, you get some freebies. I got the larger waxes, 200. I got Saturn and Cowboy. And on the 2 small ones, I got Italy, and I don't know what the other country is, which is kind of embarrassing because you guys probably know all the flags of the EU. All right, let's kill that. All right, so it's a flat sheen. It's there, but I've got to duplicate efforts here by rubbing and then buffing, which is a little unusual to me in an interior environment. So I never did get to see a Big Country in concert, which was a huge bummer because I was returning from Somalia. I guess it was 93 or 94, and they had just played in Hollywood. I mean, I just missed them by days. And I never got to see Big Country play live. And again, I'm not a casual fan. One of my favorites is from the Buffalo Skinners alone. Big Country, just the lyrics are intelligent and it speaks to me, and I can go through the catalog no problem, listening to every bit of it. All right, not bad. Dust that I found. So yesterday I did the wash until it was just too hot to be outside anymore. And like I said, I like rinseless, so I went with McKee's Graphene Rinseless, which gives a nice glow all of its own. I like pulling up in that valet, and the appearance is so good that people gotta wonder, like, wow, that looks good. And I don't think you have to have a big name car in order to want to spend money making it look good. That's just silly. Make what you have look as good as you can. That's my motto. And what I like about BMWs is those little rubber trays come out and you can put them in the washer. So, more random factoids. I dated a girl who lived outside of London in a place called Ealing years ago. That was fun. And that was, early 2000s, where we didn't really have Zoom and that kind of thing, and it was expensive on the phone bill. Ultimately, I think she ended up with an officer in the British Army or something. I don't know what to call it. I'm sorry for any veterans of that service branch. I just don't know what to call it. Otherwise, I'd give it the proper respect it deserves. Any man that puts on a uniform Well, he's good by me. Don't worry, this is water. It's too early in the morning. So I'm excited to do a wax job. Really excited. But I know that the school year is about to start. And as we all know, preparing for a new surface, it's not a simple thing. It's not something you waltz in and out of and boom, you're done. And with my first time with the system, I'm sure I'll make mistakes and want to redo things. So I'm looking to budget a full weekend to it. And then, gosh, what if I pick the wrong wax? I'm going to want to redo that. But I think I'm going to start with lavender first. Now, today I placed a third order because my first order was 2 different orders during the Euro Cup where John was giving 50% off. And it was hard to pass a deal that good up. So I ordered 2 of the number 4 mystery boxes, and then the liquid system, this interior products, the paint preparation products, and 2 different types of the sealant, Titan, and one other one, I forget, Glace, Spa, Sarah, shampoos. And now on this third order, the reason I got to ordering was he said he had some Azure that he could do on sale. He put the announcement on Facebook, and you could get not only the 35% off, but because it had 1 or 2 wipe downs as a demo product, you were getting it at a special price. And so I said, why not? I'll get the Azure, which led me to buying the Targa kit, which is 4 different types of waxes, as you already know. Probably know his website better than I do, because if you're like me, you're constantly looking at things and trying to figure out the best possible deal for how to spend your money. So with the Targa kit, I picked Trosac. I don't know how to say that right. Trosac, Pioneer, anything that says, for the Ferrari, blended for a Ferrari. That's something I want to try out, even though I don't have a Ferrari. Yeah, this extra buff. I love the appearance. I'm looking at the other door. I've seen it, and I've got to do some more buffing on it, but I like what it's doing to the plastic surfaces. I like it, but these are extra steps, and maybe it's worth it. All right, find that dirty rag, get the sill. Consequently, that girl from Ealing, the officer she was with, he cheated on her. That broke her heart. She came back my way after that, and it was already over her. So I said, no, I'm sorry to hear about it, but onward, upward. Right. As I understand it, you're supposed to spray it down with the protectant, and I do have that product. So let's put the surface away. What do I do with that protectant? I come from the school of thought. When I was young, I read a book about Ferraris and how they manufacture and build them, and it was to know where you put everything, and to operate as neatly and cleanly as possible. So I attempt to adopt that. Although when you're not used to the steps you're taking, it can be a little different. All right, now I don't know if this one's going to cause me to have to buff. I got an applicator pad here. Especially want the dash treated, so the sun beats down. Ooh, I like the smell. And of John's waxes, one of the things that's hard to avoid doing, I have the waxes right next to my chair in the living room. I can't help myself but smell the waxes. especially the ones that are, I guess, what is it? Solvent based. That's the word I was looking for. They smell so good. And again, I'm not one for mango and that kind of thing. And he doesn't have that. His waxes don't have that cheap smell. Okay, so if it gets on metal, the protectant does not look good. Get this part here. Now, I'm also looking for a car right now. And there's a reason for that, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But probably a 235, an M235, maybe a M4 440 or an M240. It depends on how much I want to spend. See, I told you I go to school, and one of the issues at school is that some of those young folks, they do not care about anything, and they will nick your car up like it's nobody's business. I hate that. Door dings, not fun. Yeah, which means I'm going to have to go over the silver bits again because I'm overdoing it. One of the other things I'm into is audio, but I've done nothing to this car. Previous to this, we had an X5, which I loved. I like being high up and you can see everything. We got it during the very, very beginning of COVID. However, a Chinese man came across the road without looking right in front of me, and we knocked, and it totaled out the car. Here in the States, if the airbags go off, they'll total the car out, in which case the insurance pays you off for it. And it stunk because we had a 0.9% interest rate, which almost equates to free money. Whereas this car, now interest rates, of course you're probably aware, interest rates are pretty bad right now. So it's not same. My daily driver is a truck. I'm from Texas. My brother passed, and the one thing I got from him of his was a truck. Never mind that his wife remarried within about a year. I thought that was strange. But not my life, not my wife, not my issues, none of my bizwax. So anyway, I have his truck, but parking it here in LA, whoo, no joy. Let me tell you, no joy. Let me see if I can't get you a better angle now. Okay, gents, overall impression with the M&K. I like the semi-gloss. It's got a good appearance. I really like that it's not so reflective on the dash, that the dash is really showing up terribly on the window shield. Armor All used to do that, and I hated it. But I guess that was before we knew any better in the 80s and 90s. It's already gotten dusty out here. We've got some wildfires, so dust collects quite quickly. Looks good. I'm signed on. I will use Mitchell & King treat and surface cleaner in the future. Absolutely, I'm sold. Well, that was a quick introduction to me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I call the people who watch my channel Sound and Gloss engineers. Do me the favor. Put in the like for the video, ask questions, subscribe. I've got lots of cool content to go back to. I run a summer detailing store where I sell Griot's products. I bought a lot of them from a BMW dealership that was putting them on clearance. And it was 2 pallets of product that I broke up here at my house. And then I took it to a storage locker, and I've been selling it here in the States, polishers, leather products, creams for the paint, that kind of thing. But no waxes. That's why I'm going to Mitchell & King Waxes. Take care, folks. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again.